Stellascope preview.
You know
this segment, Coach Stella gonna let us know about the intriguing matchups that y'all should keep an eye out for in our area, Northeast Ohio, this week. So, Coach, who we got?
This week we got 3 games, all right? Got 3 quick ones, break them down for you. First game, we got Glenville and Holben. Glenville and Holben. I think that's going to be a great game. Holben got them last year. We was at that game last year at Holben. Holben got them last year. Of course, Holben coming off a loss to Walsh Jesuit. They made a quarterback change late in the 4th quarter. Let's just kind of see how that roll into next week. You know what I mean? We know that this type of program, they're not going to be Debbie Downers and not be ready to play next week. They're going to want to get that bad taste out their mouth. Let's see how they bounce back. But they not playing, they ain't playing no cupcakes. They playing Glenville, who playing their best football of the season right now.
Right now.
A couple weeks ago, big time upset over St. Ed's. They playing good right now. Both teams 5-2. If you Glenville, you Division 4, like you said, when the talent is this level, this equal, it don't matter. It's more so about playing the best competition we could play and proving to everybody that we could play with anybody. And they're young. When I coach, every year we coach, basketball or football, when you get past the midway part of the season, they're not young no more. If you're a freshman, you ain't no freshman no more, you're a sophomore. If you're a sophomore, you ain't no sophomore no more, you're a junior. If you're a junior, you're not a junior no more, you're a senior. If you're a senior, you shouldn't be playing like a senior. You should be playing like a kid that want to go play college ball, depending on your talent level. You know what I mean? So Glenville started off with a young team, kind of some hiccups early. But Coach Ginn been saying it all year since the preseason. This is the most young talent he's had on one team. Shout out to the kid, Jalen Edwards, got his first offer from Syracuse. Young kid, speedster. Boy got rollers. So I'm interested to see that game, Glenville and Holben. Second game, Fitch at Erie McDowell. Fitch did a good job bouncing back after losing to Ursuline, beating Perry. They also made a quarterback switch. So let's see how that works coming into this game at Erie McDowell. Not only is Erie McDowell a good team, you got to go on the road and go play them. We talked about Erie McDowell. They beat St. Joe's a couple weeks ago, so they're definitely a good football team. And Fitch 6-1. So it's kind of at that point going into week 8, everybody wants to play their best ball. So this is going to be a big-time game to watch. Like I said, Fitch did a good job bouncing back, changing the quarterback, opening up Pandora's box, more playmakers touch the ball. Defense really been playing solid all year. They gave up 35 to Ursuline, but at this point, I mean, who ain't giving up 35 to Ursuline at this point? So, you know, sometimes you have a hiccup in the season, one bad week. That don't say who you is as a defense or as a team. As a team and as a defense, they've been playing solid, especially the defense and Fitch. They've been playing good all year. So let's see how they bounce back at Erie McDowell. And then the last one, we got a Federal League matchup. Federal League. Kent McKinley trying to hold on to that lead so they can win it. Kent McKinley versus Lake. Lake is a respectable program. They lost last week to Maslin Jackson, who's another solid program. They lost to Perry early. So it's kind of like, I wonder what team Lake really is. But they're going to be geeked up to play Kent McKinley. Ain't no doubt about it. And Lake, I'm sure they're looking at it like, if we can't win the Federal League, we're not going to let you win the Federal League. What better win to get in week 8 to get yourself back rolling than upset Kent McKinley? If you Kent McKinley, if you remember last year, around week 7, week 8, is when stuff kind of came off the rails.
A little turbulence.
I'm sure Coach Hall is expressing that to his team heavily. If you looked at last week's game, they won against North Canton Hoover. It was sloppy. You know what I mean? So I'm sure Coach Hall going to try to get their attention this week, get these boys focused and locked in so we can kind of play well going down the stretch and go into the playoffs differently than we did last year. So them the 3 games to keep an eye on, bro, in the Stellascope preview. Glenville versus Holben, Fitch at Erie McDowell, Kent McKinley and Lake right there.
Kent McKinley play a pretty tough schedule as well.
They do.
That's, 5-2 at this point. That's a good record for them at this point with the schedule that they play. And we also know we talked about early in the year about they have a unique challenge having to deal with, you open the season with Harding. You got Avon in there.
You play Cass Tech from Detroit.
Whole time hearing about what Maslin doing.
Yes.
And still having to stay locked into this week.
And you're playing in the Federal League, one of the best football conferences we got in Northeast Ohio.
So Kent McKinley, that's another team that always You know, they have unique challenges up there.
Yep.
The Glenville Hoban game, that was always that was a great one last year.
For sure.
Like you said, those kids are growing up in Glenville now. We can't know they knocked off St. Ed's. We can't look at them as, oh, that's a young team no more. You know, because I don't think Hoban coming off a loss is gonna care nothing about how young they is.
And I'm sure Coach Ginn is telling them that now.
Right.
Y'all ain't young no more. Y'all ain't babies no more. Knowing in his mind they still gonna make mistakes, but as far as being ready for the moment, playing in them big environments against them big time games, not being at all of anything. They ain't young no more. They ready to rock. And like you said, they proved it a couple weeks ago against St. Ed's.
Absolutely. Then, of course, Fitch, like I said, they lost, like you said, 35-0 against a stacked Ursuline team. Could very well be what they needed to kind of like reset, find some money, some other players going into the meet because they still got some heavy hitters to play later on down their schedule too. So, you know what I'm saying? It's interesting at this point in the season to see everybody make their adjustments, new players come in the fold. You know, I see even with, you know, Harding, Crum coming in the fold, even a lot more. They spreading the ball, finding different ways, using.
Talked about Aries getting the ball,
Aries getting the ball on it. So, you know, this point of the season is exciting because you're gonna get different names and you know people you gonna
young
find
kids who started off maybe number 2 on the depth chart. Now them played a little special teams. They got a little tick. Oh, now they making the play like the kid from Ursuline, Marquise Patterson.
Right.
I think he was playing receiver early. Senior, sorry, he's not a young kid, he's a senior, but he wasn't playing them much early, playing some receiver. They put him at tailback against Fitch, and he electric. Like, who is this kid? So that's a great point, brother.
Yeah, so it's a great time.
It's money time.
It's money time.
For sure.
Stay locked in between the lines with Coach Stella.